Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam, and in today's video, we are going to be designing a game in 5 minutes or less. How are we going to do that, you might ask? Well, if we jump over to our second OBS setup. Oh goodness, our screen stopped sharing. That is silly. Let's start sharing again. Accept. All right. And if you look in the top right of the screen, you will see that there is this segment or there's this tool from letsmakeagame.net, and they have this idea generator which will give you a genre, rule setting, and theme as a prompt to potentially design around. So what we're going to do, oh god, why do we stop sharing? No, we're good. Tablet's being a little funky today. But as I was saying, oh, buggers. We'll try one more time and then figure it out from there. All right. Hopefully the connection stays for a little longer. But what we are going to do is we are going to generate a game prompt and then set 5 minutes on the clock for us to have as a time constraint. And at the end of the 5 minutes, we'll recap what we came up with for a game design. So we're going to rush so that the tablet doesn't disconnect again. And so we will generate, we got a city builder. The rule is limited capacity. The setting is antiquity. And the theme is immortality. So we'll start the 5 minutes, jump back into our tablet screen and begin. And so this prompt is a little kind of pretty easy. That, you know, city builder, okay, everyone has a limited capacity, so it's potentially a tile placement game, and because it's a city builder, potentially you can build up on the grid. But we've already achieved our city builder limited capacity, antiquity, and immortality. And so potentially you're trying to build. All right, well, screen share is connecting. Our tablet doesn't seem to want to work today. Maybe it has some updates that it needs to go through. But we will jump into full camera and power through. All right, so we had, I will just generalize notes down here. So we got city builder. As soon as I get this set up too, the timer is going to go off and scare me. Limited capacity, antiquity, and immortality. And so my thought process was that you'd have a grid of 9, and the goal would be that you have to, so city builder, how do you add city builder and immortality? I'd love to know what you think in the comments, because my brain is not connecting the two today. My first thought is that here, we'll draw and then show off. But is that you would have some sort of grid, and potentially you would be looking to create an environment where you become immortal. And so in the center of the grid, that would be you. And potentially there are powers that each character has, or each player has. And you would be trying to place tiles out that create some sort of loop. And so you'd have your tiles out there that maybe chain from one to another, and this would trigger an action. And then from that action, what we got in the comments, an ancient city that stood the test of time. That is a better idea that I have currently, Mick. And so my thought was that you'd be kind of chaining these actions, and your goal is to keep your character alive for the round, and the goal would to be infinite, where I think everyone would have these different resource tracks. This is going to be an interesting way of doing it, but you'd have these influence tracks here. That's not going to work because my little sketches are coming out wonky, but there'd be potentially 3 influence tracks that you're trying to balance, and the person who can create an engine that keeps them maxed out for one full round becomes the winner, because you've entered that immortal state. And so how this would go is there'd be 2 phases in the game, or 3 phases in the game, and in the first phase you would be setting up your action chain, or drafting your action chain. Second phase of the round would be running your action chain, or placing your action chain. And then the third would be running your action chain, where everyone would kind of in turn sequence be going into a loop to see if they can keep their engine of immortality going infinite. So we got 30 seconds. I'm probably going to call it there because our tablet is being a little poopy. But our goal for this design challenge that we managed to struggle through was, we had a prompt of a city builder as our genre. The rule was limited capacity. The setting is antiquity, and the theme is immortality. And so our thought, sorry for hitting the mic. I'll cut that. I'll cut it. All right. Resetting. So our challenge for this video that we had to struggle through due to tablet malfunctioning is, we were prompted with designing a city builder concept that has limited capacity with a antiquity theme and an immortality theme and a antiquity setting. Yep. And so all we were able to come up with today is that there was some sort of tile placement where you'd be adding in actions that would be some sort of engine for balancing these 3 resource tracks. And so we didn't really get too far in this one, so I'd love to hear in the comments below if you were able to get further with this design concept. And if you probably don't want to subscribe after this video, but if you like the concept of designing games in 5 minutes, I post these videos every Friday, so feel free to subscribe, because I promise the next one will have less glitches. But I hope you have a great day, and I hope to hear from you soon. What are you gonna do?